some light colored dubbing for the first part, and then we'll show you. So what you do is start your thread. We're good here?
Yep, you're good.
Okay.
That one better or the other one?
Try them both, see what happens.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
You'll be able to see. I turned it for you there too.
Well,
You can actually take that other one out too.
if I start moving and you can't see, stop me so that I can correct that.
You can see fine.
You won't.
Oh, well, once we start tying, yeah.
Okay. Now, the first thing we're going to do after putting our thread on, you're going to bring it back just before the start of the bend of the hook. Now we're going to take some elk hair. It's an elk hair tail, and you want it to get a pretty good piece of it here.
Hey, backing up a little bit, Mike, what size hook was that? I know you said it was a hopper hook, but,
This is a 10.
okay,
You could actually use an 8.
okay.
Well, you can use any size you want, but for demonstration purposes, the smallest we have here that I could find is a 10. Or the largest I could find is a 10. So, see, that's, when you clip that elk hair off of the hide, you get it right down to the hide. You don't take halfway. And you peel out, get out the fuzzies. Then we're going to stack this so that the tips are even. And you want this tail to be about half the length of the hook. So you pinch that between your finger and thumb. You take a loose wrap over the top and then pull straight up. And we're going to wrap that in like this. Now, in doing that, what you're going to do is you're going to start to build up the body a little bit with that elk hair. So we'll clean that off. And this is where you have to be careful you don't cut your thread, because then you end up saying naughty words.
Like what?
Oh, sugar.
Fudge sickle, cheese and crackers, cheese and rice.
Sugar, honey, iced tea.
Okay.
And you want the tail to flare out like that, correct?
Well, not a whole lot. You just play with it until you get it. Can you see what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I think as I'm going through this here, I think what I'm going to do is instead of adding floss, I think I'm just going to wrap thread over this because of the bulk.
If you were to wrap with floss, what does, just for the bulk of floss, or does it make it float better?
No, just for bulk. When you use this fly, though, what you want to do is dope it up pretty good. You use frog's fanny or the equivalent, or loon, or whatever your floatants are.
What's that stuff you got me for Christmas, Ben? Flyagra.
Keeps it up.
It does. It
does.
You gotta soak it. You gotta soak it overnight and then let it dry.
What I
It works really good.
Put it on the night before,
Yeah.
the flows work better.
You gotta do it.
Dry.
Yeah, you gotta do. It's not something you can do at the crib. It's something you do before you hit the stream.
years ago, when I was a youngin', that was a long time ago.
Back in the dinosaurs. Hook 'em up and tear 'em
You see what we're doing here? I'm building this up just to give it color, because going over that elk hair, it gave me enough bulk. So I don't have to use dubbing here. And take note that what I did here is I left this much space because we're going to add in a wing and a hackle.
Come to the other side of your hook when you show it. There you go.
A wing and a hackle up in here. That's why I left this space here. And on the starting point of your thread, give yourself room up here, not only with this fly, but with all flies, because everybody has a tendency to crowd the eye, and then when you get to the end and you try to tie things off, you end up with no room. And it makes life difficult. Then you end up covering your eye of your hook. And then when you're trying to put a 6X tippet in there, when it's getting dark, you end up saying more nasty words. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do here is put in a piece of wire. Easier said than done. And this is ultra wire, brassy size. You could use thinner, but this is all I could find. When you cut wire, you use the back end of the scissors or an older pair of scissors. Never use your tip. And we're going to put this wire in, lay it on the side. Wrap it in. And you could use, this is one of those flies where you can use any colors you want. And you could even use colored wire if you wanted. Okay, so the reason, what we're going to do is have this wire just trail off, and we're going to leave it hang back here. And we're going to use that to secure our hackle once we get the hackle on. I had them sitting here somewhere. This is going to be rather sketchy today because the smallest hackle we have is too small for this pattern. It should be bigger. So we lay this hackle on, tie it in, and you want the dull side facing back. And we're going to wrap, this is called palmering. We're going to palmer this hackle to the back.
It's basically a dry fly wool boat. It is, it's basically a dry fly wool boat.
Now we're going to use the wire to secure that. And you bring your wire up between the wraps of the hackle.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Bring that around, take another turn here. Tie that down. Forgot my own rule. And you nip this in the bud. Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, now we're going to take another piece of elk hair for the wing.
Why is the sky blue?
Pardon me?
Is God's Penn State fan?
What?
Why is the sky blue?
Oh, I thought you were asking a question. I'm sorry.
Because God's a Penn State fan. God loves an infantry. God loves infantry. That's there you go. There you go.
It's the Navy that way, you couldn't tell which way's up when you're sinking.
I haven't heard that one.
Okay, I'm missing something here. Oh, here it is. So you take that tail, or the wing, which is the elk hair, stack it.
You use like a half a pencil in diameter for the.
It varies. It'll change based on the size of the hook. But
You don't
yeah, about a half a pencil.
So you don't want like an old kill us.
No, but you want a pretty good wing on here. So then you measure, and you want the wing to extend back to half of the length of the tail. Okay? So what we're going to do is pinch that, and you do a pinch wrap here. Trim it off, or as Davy McPhail would say, trim the waist. Waist, he says. Waist, yeah. And tidy it up. Kelly Gallup is planning a trip. I think it'll cost you about $4,000 if you want to get into it with him. I don't know where they're going. You could check out his website. Limited number of openings.
Oh, the Healing Waters covering any of that?
I doubt it. That's Kelly Gallup. I just saw a blurb about it on the internet. Okay, so you get that elk hair in, and what you want to do here is build up a little bit of a head. You could use dubbing for this, but I opted, like I did with the back end, I'm just opting for. Okay, everybody see that? Wow. It doesn't look, it looks different from me to me than it does to you. I'm looking at the screen. Or could do it this way.
Yeah, it just looks like you got a few fibers that.
Yeah, it's
a lot worse over here.
it does. It looks blurry on the screen.
Let's pull this back, put this,
It's mostly trying to focus on your healing water shirt. Exactly. Your layers.
let's just lift this up.
We'll be able to see that flat once you hand it.
Well, I was going to
Turn it just a smidge here and that should pull that out. See if we can get it to focus.
That's better. It was just focusing on your letters, on your shirt more than anything.
That's a little better. I still need to trim that up a little bit.
You gotta trim it on the side,
That's basically it, right? You just tie it off.
That's it.
No, there's more.
Oh, yeah.
There's more.
But wait,
Wait, what?
But wait.
But wait.
You can't move the vise around because then it's all gone.
That's all right. I'll move it there.
These
I'm still playing with the software. There's other options. I'm just using the free software, which doesn't let you do the autofocus and all the little stuff. I figured I'd give it a try first with the free stuff and see how it works. Then I'll upgrade because
It's working good, I think.
the software's like $120 a year. I was like, nah, I'll use the free stuff.
Free is good.
These scissors are terrible. But,
Hey, we get the gist.
yeah. Okay, now you're gonna use a different hackle. This one is Grizzly. You can see what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Get the garbage off. What you do, like when you're prepping all hackle, you want to bare the stem a little bit, or get so your thread has something to bite onto. If you just go over the whole fibers, they're slippery. This way, you got a little bit of a comb, and the thread will get down in there, and it'll grab that. And you want to put the shiny side up. Do your whip finish. About 4 or 5 turns. And there you go. Now, what you could do is you could take and build an orange head, or any other color you want over the top of that if you want, or you could leave it as it is. I got involved here and I forgot to switch colors. What I had originally planned was to use this as the head, but you can see, you can doctor that up yourself. Stop it. Secret of a good carpenter is to cover up your mistakes.
Putty and paint makes a carpenter what he ain't.
Never heard that.
So you see what I did? I just putty and paint.
Putty and paint.
That's a good one, Rich.
Thank you.
That's the only one.
You can't see it.
Oh, it's the only clean one.
So there you go. That's the stimulator. I can pass it around so that you can get a closer close-up view. This is a little blurry on the screen as far as what I can see. I don't know how it's showing up out there.
See if I can.
It helps big time.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
All right.
Well, We'll pass that one around and I'll get you materials.